Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today. I hope you've had a great show so far, and I know you must be tired by the end of the last day, so we'll try to keep it very fun. And the next 45 minutes will be all about social media, and I'll share with you some secrets on how we can use social media to generate ROI for hotels and destinations. I'll quickly take you through the agenda for today so you know what to expect. First, we'll start with a short introduction about myself and BCV. The second part will be about social media landscape. We will discuss the current place of social media in the daily life and its importance for the industry now. Then we will move to the new guest and we'll talk about how the guest behavior changed over the past year. Then I'll share with you some strategies on how to drive engagement-driven ROI and how you can increase engagement and ROI for your properties. And the last part will be about the success stories of our hotel partners before we move to Q&A session. So for the introduction, I will not talk much. I'll just play a video for you. So now let me introduce myself. My name is Julia. I'm heading BCV in UAE and the Middle East region. I was born in Ukraine, but I've been living in UAE since 2015, and for the past 9 years, I've been engaged with social media, sales, and marketing in different roles. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn after the session. So now let's talk about the current social media landscape. Social media is the part of our daily life and we cannot deny it now. It plays a huge role for the travel industry as people are going to social media for inspiration while researching destination or the hotel, while during their trips to share the pictures and their experiences, and also it becoming a preferred channel of communication with the properties and destinations. So now we want to make this interactive, so I have a couple of quizzes for you. I will do it old school, so I'll be giving you the options and you'll be raising hands if you think this is the correct answer. So our first question is about Facebook. So what do you think? What's the average time spent on Facebook per user per day? So whoever thinks that it's 15 minutes, please raise your hands. Okay, 20 minutes? 33 minutes? So most of you think that we do spend 33 minutes of average on Facebook. Let's see the right answer. So you guys this. And Facebook is the most popular and widely used social media platform with more than 2.8 billion users, active billion users. You can see that it's very popular among all age groups, and you can see that most of the 56% of the audience is men, 44 is female. So the next question will be about Instagram. So on the average day, Instagram users over the age of 25 spend how many minutes do you think per day? So option 1, 45 minutes. Okay. Option B, 29 minutes. Okay. Option C, 10 minutes. Okay, so most of you think that it's option B, 29 minutes. Let's see the right answer. So yeah, you guessed that. I don't know what about you, but I definitely spend much more than that on Instagram every day. So Instagram is the second most widely used platform with 1.2 billion active daily users. And you can see that here the 51% of audience is female and 49 is male. And it's the most popular platform among the millennials, so most of them prefer it. And the users are actively following brands on Instagram, so it's a great channel to be present. Our next question is about Twitter. So, how do you think every second around how many tweets are sent on Twitter? So, option one, 1,000. Okay. Option B, 6,000. And option C, 10,000. Okay, so most of you think that it's 10,000. So let's check the right answer. It's 6,000. And I know that Twitter is not that widely used in some regions as in the others, but most people rely on Twitter to gather some news and for customer service. And you can see that it has a very large reach to people 30 plus. So now, when we discuss the social media landscape, let's see who is the new guest. You know that the guest behavior changed in the past year, and let's figure out what the new guest is like. So the new guest is very active on social media, and they're using it to get inspired, discover, and plan. Online spending is growing. I don't know how about you, but I've bought a lot of things I didn't really need from seeing them on social media. Of course, with the current situation around us, the new guest is also very concerned about the health and safety measures, and they're expecting brands to empathize. At the same time, they are okay with the brands to be advertising during crisis. Last year, a lot of us found ourselves having more free time, and the usage of social media, of course, increased. The time we spent on the apps increased as well. So, what we were doing on social media besides online shopping? We were watching videos. How many of you downloaded TikTok last year during the lockdown? So speaking of the videos and the new emerging features on different channels, you can see that the channels keep evolving and they're always adding new features depending on the requests from the audience. So you can see that common new features are like to gather more ways to gather a small group, like watch parties on Facebook, for example, or Twitter Spaces or rooms on Instagram, and integration of audio and new content formats like Reels. So you can see there are new platforms emerging all the time. Like, for example, the first logo is for House Party. This is the group video platform that allows people to gather in the groups up to 8 people. The Clubhouse that everyone already heard about is the audio-focused social media network. TikTok, of course, we all know it, short-form video sharing. Then there is also Mivi. It's the next-gen social network, and it's there is a request from the consumers to be sure that that the communication is encrypted and it's private. So that's how Mivi and the Signal start emerging and gaining popularity. As the possibility of international travel appears on the horizon, travelers are now looking at the destination they wanted to visit since the last year. And that's the reason why the hotels in Thailand, for example, as you can see, the cities like Kata Beach and Sakho, they noticed the increase in engagement of almost 200% and 150%. As India's active cases started surging in the past 2 months, and they're almost 4 times that comparing to what it was before. It's one of the reasons why people started, there was a relaxation of norms and some surge of bookings, which led to the increase in cases. And you can see that Indonesia and UAE also keep drawing the attention, with Dubai witnessing 20% growth in engagement, even though the inbound travel is still restricted. So what's the key strategy shifts for the hotels and what it means? So people expect the hotels to be flexible in cancellation and rebooking policies, and 7 in 10 customers feel more confident traveling when they have this option. Safety will remain a top priority. 8 in 10 travelers expect to make accommodation decisions based on the safety measures, hygiene procedures, reduced capacities, and mask enforcements. Shorter booking windows will remain, so people are booking from 0 to 21-day window, and this pattern is expected to be there throughout the Q2. Millennial audiences are very important because they will be the first to travel and the most confident while doing so, and considering the increase in their disposable income, it's very important to target them. So online and peer reviews will be very important for the purchase consideration, especially those that are from the family or friends. Video content will still be the king and the most popular type of content, especially in short form throughout all 2021. Social is the new marketplace, as we already discussed, that online spending is expected to be $900 billion this year, and most of 1/3 of consumers, they are basing their choices going to social media. Data-driven personalization. It's very important to provide the content that is personalized for your audience and deliver them throughout their online journey. And social media will play a very important role in the collection of custom data and overall user experience. Now that we've gone through social media landscape and we know who the new guest is and what their behaviors are, I'll be sharing with you some of the strategies for engagement-driven ROI. It's very important to stay engaged with your customers. And if they are leaving comments or sending you messages, it's very important to reply to them, especially if the questions now are coming around safety measures, about the restrictions, and what is more important, to reply on time. When we're talking about the content, lifestyle content goes long way. We don't want to show, hotel facilities or the amenities. We want to show the experiences, what the guests can actually experience staying in the hotel or being in the destination. Dynamic content, of course, gets more engagement. So you can see different ways of doing dynamic contents, and more than 500 million users on Instagram use stories every day. So you can see how the audience is. So there are different ways how you can do the dynamic content. You can see some GIFs, some animated graphics, and some Instagram stories. So video, thanks to the algorithm on the different platforms, video still remains to be higher prioritized content. So if you want to reach the larger audience, video is the best way to go. So besides community management and the content, one more component is paid media. We have one more video, sorry. So when talking about paid media, defining the right target audiences, reaching them is the key for the success of any campaign. And there is a lot of different ways how you can reach your target audience. You can target people who already visited your website but didn't do the booking. You can engage with who engaged with your content on social media, watched your videos, commented. You can use the current CRM or email database of current and past guests or members of your loyalty program. You can also create lookalike audiences similar to people who already visited your website or engaged with you on social media. And you can also define target demographic audiences with some particular interest to make sure that you're reaching right people for any campaign that you're running. And of course, while running the campaigns, it's very important to measure your success. And the best way to do it is using Facebook Pixel. So it doesn't just give you an idea of how much revenue was generated through each campaign, but it also allows you to understand which content was the best to trigger the action, understand the users and their behavior on your website, and retarget them if they left your website without making purchase. Besides the revenue, there are different metrics that you can use to measure your success on social media. So you can see for each platform, it's the engagement, the new followers that you're getting, the clicks to your website, views of videos, reels, IGTV, tweets sent, and Twitter engagement. And I like to share with you some success stories of our hotel partners using the strategies that I've just shared with you. So first is JW Marriott Bonnet Creek. It's one of the hotels in Orlando in US that we're working with, and we prepared the pre-opening strategy for this property. You can see that within 3 months, we created social media channels, we launched their pages, we established, optimized them, and we also developed a paid strategy and organic tactics to help them gain the initial audience. And you can see the results that we got out of all these engagements. So we managed to get more than 400 new followers. We got 13,000 engagements, and we managed for 73 conversations. The next success story is in Maldives. It's 2 cinnamon hotels that we've been partnered with, and we helped them to drive bookings during the need period last year, during the lockdown in summer when Maldives as destination was closed and the hotels stayed closed. We ran Book Now, Stay Later campaign using various kind of contents and channels. And for both hotels combined, we spent $750, and you can see that we managed to generate more than $100,000 in revenue. And the engagement levels were very high, also considering that our audiences were all stayed at home at the time. One more success story is Cavallo Point, a hotel in US, and we ran a series of different campaigns for them throughout the year to keep the revenue coming. And each campaign was targeted unique travelers based on their interest, based on their location. And what we wanted to highlight in this campaign, in our content and messaging, was the amenities, that we developed during the pandemic. For example, like private guest room entrances and secluded location of the resort, and refreshed offerings that we had for the guests. So you can see that we managed to generate more than $300,000 in revenue, and cost per acquisition was $13. So we're moving towards the end. So I just wanted to have a brief presentation of who we are, to give you more of the background. So BCV is a social media provider. Company is 11 years old. We are based in Chicago, and we have a big office in India as well to cover Middle East and Southeast Asia region. We've been working with hotels only, so we are hospitality only social media provider, and you can see on this slide that we provide end-to-end social media solution. So we cover everything from strategy creation, content creation, target marketing and conversion tracking, also 24/7 community management, guest engagements, and monthly reporting, including competitive benchmarking. We won 37 Adrian Awards till date, including 6 bronze awards this year for the content and campaigns that we created for our customers. We partnered with almost 300 properties around the world, and you can see all the major brands that we're working with on this slide. We recently partnered with our first customer in Dubai, and we have some properties in Maldives and India. So now I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding the content of the presentation or social media in general. Okay, in this case, I'm just sharing my details with you. Feel free to connect. I'll be happy to talk to you after the session. Per week, you mean? So we do recommend, as an industry standard, anything between 3 to 5 posts per week. We don't recommend posting every day because your audience may be getting tired of it. You always have stories to be posting every day, several times per day. But in terms of the static posts, you should post something between 3 to 5 times per week. That's what we recommend. For TikTok, we have a very detailed report on TikTok. Our team did a very deep dive in the platform to understand whether you should be there or not as a hotel. And it depends what your audience is, in fact, and how your brand is and what you want to show on social media. So as long as you're aligned, with the platform, with the audience, of course, is the way to go. You should explore. You should explore any new social media that is coming. And if you're interested to get the report, just catch me after the session. I'll give you my details, and you can send me an email. Okay, then thank you so much for your time and for your attention. I was happy to be here with you. And in case you have any other questions that you want to ask me, I'll be here around after the session. And feel free to connect with me. You have all my details. Thank you so much. Have a nice rest of the day.